Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the heart of the Midwest, the incredible city of Chicago. You might know it for its stunning skyline, deep dish pizza, and maybe even a certain basketball legend. But trust me, there's so much more to the Windy City than meets the eye. We've dug up 20 fascinating facts that will make you see Chicago in a whole new light. So, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's explore the secrets of Chicago. First up, let's talk about that famous nickname, the Windy City. Most people think it's because of the chilly gusts coming off Lake Michigan, and while it can get pretty breezy, the name actually has a different origin. It was popularized by a New York City newspaper editor in the late 1800s. He used it to describe Chicago's politicians, who he said were full of hot air while they were competing with New York to host the 1893 World S. Columbian Exposition. So, it was originally more of a political jab than a weather report. Fact number 2. Chicago is the birthplace of the skyscraper. In 1885, the home insurance building was completed. Standing at a then massive 10 stories high, it was the first building to use a steel frame skeleton for support, a revolutionary technique that allowed buildings to soar to new heights. Sadly, the original building was demolished in 1931, but its legacy lives on in every skyscraper across the globe. Speaking of architecture, have you ever noticed that the Chicago River flows backward? That's fact number 3. Carrying the city's sewage and industrial waste with it. This contaminated the city's drinking water source and led to outbreaks of diseases like typhoid. So, in an incredible feat of engineering, they built a system of canals and locks to divert the water away from the lake and towards the Mississippi River. It's one of the greatest engineering marvels of the 20th century. Fact 4 is a sweet one. The world-famous brownie was invented right here in Chicago. It was created for the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition at the request of Bertha Palmer, a prominent socialite. She wanted a dessert for the ladies attending the fair that was smaller than a piece of cake, but still had a cake-like texture and could be eaten from a box lunch. The result was the decadent Fudgy Palmer House brownie, and you can still order the original recipe at the Palmer House Hilton Hotel today. Chicago is home to the world's first all-color television station. Back in 1956, WMBQ, which is now WMAQ-TV, began broadcasting its entire schedule in color. It was a huge deal at the time, paving the way for the vibrant world of television we all enjoy today. Chicago has over 26 miles of public lakefront, and it's all protected. In the early 1900s, city planner Daniel Burnham famously declared, "This vision ensured that the shoreline would remain forever open, clear, and free, preventing private development and creating the beautiful system of parks and beaches we see today. It's one of the most accessible and stunning urban shorelines in the world." Fact number 7. Before it was Chicago, the area was known by another name, the Potawatomi tribe, who were native to the region, called the area. This word referred to the wild leeks, onions, or garlic that grew abundantly along the riverbanks. The French later transliterated this into Chicago, so the city is essentially named after a stinky wild onion. Here's a fun one for number 8. The iconic neon sign on the Chicago Theater is practically a celebrity in its own right. But did you know it's nearly 7 stories tall? Installed in 1921. This vertical CHICHAO sign has become a symbol of the city's vibrant arts and culture scene. Fact number 9 takes us underground, underneath the Loop, Chicago's downtown area. There's a complex network of tunnels known as the Ped. This system of underground and enclosed overhead walkways connects more than 50 buildings over about 40 blocks. It allows residents and tourists to navigate the city center without having to face the bitter cold of winter or the heat of summer. Number 10 is for the art lovers. The Art Institute of Chicago is guarded by 2 famous bronze lions. These beloved statues were installed in 1894, but they weren't given names until 1989. The sculptor, Edward Kemys, said they were designed to be on the prowl and in an attitude of defiance. Today, they're often adorned with wreaths during the holidays or sports team helmets during championship runs, showing off their Chicago pride. For fact 11, let's talk spray paint. Believe it or not, the aerosol spray paint can was invented in Chicago in 1949. A man named Ed Seymour came up with the idea to put paint in a can with an aerosol, and he filled the can with paint and compressed air. The invention revolutionized everything from industrial painting to street art. Chicago is a major hub for urban wildlife. Researchers from the Urban Coyote Research Program have been studying them for years and have found that these clever animals have adapted incredibly well to city life. They use railway corridors to travel and have learned to navigate traffic. So if you're out late at night, you might just spot one. Fact 13 is out of this world. The Adler Planetarium in Chicago was the very first planetarium built in the Western Hemisphere. When it opened its doors in 1930, it brought the stars down to Earth for the American public for the first time, sparking a fascination with astronomy that continues to this day. The historic Route 66, the Mother Road of America, officially begins in Chicago. The starting point is marked by a sign on Adams Street, right near the Art Institute. From there, the legendary highway stretches over 2,400 miles all the way to Santa Monica, California, representing the ultimate American road trip. Fact 15 is about a Chicago classic. The Ferris wheel was invented for Chicago's 1893 World's Fair. George Washington Gale Ferris Jr. designed a massive revolving wheel to rival Paris's Eiffel Tower. The original wheel was 264 feet tall and could carry over 2,000 passengers at a time. Every Ferris wheel you see today, including the Centennial Wheel at Navy Pier, is a descendant of that original Chicago marvel. While Wrigley Field is famous for its ivy-covered walls, the same guy who later owned the Chicago White Sox. He wanted to give the ballpark a more beautiful, park-like feel. It took a few years to fully grow in, but it's now one of the most iconic features in all of sports. Number 17 is a tasty tidbit. While Chicago is famous for its deep dish pizza, there's another local creation you need to know about: the Italian beef sandwich. This legendary sandwich, featuring thinly sliced, seasoned roast beef simmered in its own juices and served on a dense Italian roll, was born out of Depression-era necessity by Italian immigrants in the city's stockyards. Fact 18 is for the film buffs. The first ever televised U.S. presidential debate was broadcast from Chicago's CBS studios on September 26th. Those who listened on the radio thought Nixon won, but television viewers who saw a tired-looking Nixon next to a charismatic Kennedy largely declared JFK the winner. For our 19th fact, did you know that Walt Disney was born in Chicago? He was born in the Hermosa neighborhood in 1901. His father, Elias Disney, was a building contractor who had built their family home himself. The family moved to Missouri when Walt was 4, but the creative genius who would change the world of entertainment got his start right here in Chicago. Lincoln Park Zoo is one of the oldest and one of the few remaining free admission zoos in the entire country. It was founded in 1868 when the Central Park Commissioners in New York gave Chicago a gift of 2 swans. From those 2 birds, it has grown into a world-class zoo that attracts millions of visitors every year, all without an entrance fee. And there you have its 20 fascinating facts that prove Chicago is one of the most historically rich and culturally significant cities in the world. From inventing the skyscraper to reversing a river, Chicago has never been afraid to think big. I hope you learned something new and feel inspired to visit or explore the city with fresh eyes. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures. We'll see you in the next one.